Biden's policies inviting border crisis. Alejandro Mayorkas, Secretary of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, DHS, made a visit to the Southern U.S. border in El Paso, Texas, with a group of U.S. senators from the Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs, HSGAC. The visit began last Friday, March 19, 2021, and extended over the weekend. The purpose of the visit, according to a DHS statement, was to view operations and receive a briefing on the processing, shelter, and transfer of unaccompanied children arriving at our border. The influx of illegal immigrants, including many minors, at the U.S. Mexican border has reached new highs since the last crisis in 2019. The number of illegal crossings is skyrocketing as Biden begins implementing his plan, which he campaigned on, to roll back Trump-era immigration rules and policies aimed at curbing the flow of illegal immigration. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, announced this week a more than 100% month-over-month increase in February in two categories of illegal aliens: family units and unaccompanied minors. CBP statistics show that Border Patrol agents conducted 100,441 apprehensions or expulsions of migrants at the border with Mexico in February. This is a 28% increase compared to January, as well as the highest monthly total since the border crisis of 2019. DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas recently said, "We are on pace to encounter more individuals on the southwest border than we have in the last 20 years. Texas Governor Greg Abbott also warned,
"This is just the very beginning of what's going to be a massive expansion of the number of people coming across the border. It will grow tenfold and 100-fold, especially because of the way the Biden administration has handled this."
The Biden administration has avoided using the term crisis to describe it. On Thursday, March 18th, when responding to a question from reporters, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki used the phrase
"in dealing with the crisis on the border"
to describe the spike in illegal crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border, but afterwards switched back to calling them challenges instead.
You said crisis on the border. Was that a
challenges on the border?
Okay.
Ohio Republican Senator Rob Portman was known to be part of the group of senators who went on the March 19th trip to the southern border. During a speech on the Senate floor about 1 week prior, Portman called on the Biden administration to address the crisis.
I frankly don't care what we call it. Call it a difficult situation, a challenge, whatever you want, but I care a lot what we do in response. I'm disappointed that the Biden administration chose to overturn the policies put in place by the Trump administration to help control the flow of migrants during this pandemic without any viable alternatives. And I'm concerned that leaders at key agencies involved in the response to this crisis are somehow seeing it in their interest to downplay the severity of the situation. I urge the Biden administration to change course, put back in place smart policies that reduce the pull factors, and address the need for legal and orderly processes for migration.
On March 18th, one day before the senators' trip, 10 Republican lawmakers called for a hearing before the House Subcommittee on Crime, Terrorism, and Homeland Security to examine how the surge of illegal immigrants from south of the border may be impacting national security and the safety of Americans. The Republicans alleged it was the Biden administration's immigration policies that are fueling the surge of alien encounters along the U.S. southern border. The subcommittee should hear directly from officials from the Department of State, Department of Justice, and Department of Homeland Security about what the Biden administration is doing to address the criminal activity caused by the Biden administration's radical policies, they wrote. The safety and security concerns of GOP lawmakers have been fueled by a recent report that 4 people arrested at the southern border since October 1st matched names on the FBI's terror watch list. Echoing the fear that the surge in illegal border crossings raised the risk of terrorists entering the United States was Senator Lindsey Graham. He recently told Sean Hannity in an interview that policy shifts around immigration, away from former President Donald Trump's tough approach.
There's a disaster in the making. Well, the worst is yet to come. This border insecurity is a great way for terrorists to come into our country, just to blend in with this group. There's a lot of danger coming from this wave of illegal immigration, and the numbers are going to double by the summer if we don't go back to Trump policies. As embarrassing and as painful it would be for Biden administration, they need to understand that what Trump did on the border worked.
Ohio Republican Representative Jim Jordan, a ranking member on the Judiciary Committee, echoed the statement in a tweet. In January, President Trump said, "If our border security measures are reversed, it will trigger a tidal wave of illegal immigration, a wave like you've never seen before." He was right. The surge of illegal immigrants crossing the southern border has also concerned the National Sheriff's Association, which is calling on the Biden administration to secure the border and protect Americans.
We need more manpower. We need more technology.
According to the Washington Examiner, the association has a draft border security resolution set for a vote at a meeting in Arizona in June. In it, they claim that among the dangers that come along with the thousands of illegal border crossings that occur every month, which include human trafficking, drug smuggling, potential terrorism, and death at the hands of coyotes, bandits, and harsh weather, the COVID-19 pandemic has significantly complicated the challenges Border Patrol and law enforcement face. Up to 50% of illegal immigrants are testing positive for COVID-19, the Sheriff's Association wrote. We are already seeing strains to the public health system of border communities. The suspension of deportations has led to the release of undocumented persons into border communities. We then have an affirmative responsibility to provide medical care for them if they are infected with COVID, the statement reads. This at a time when our communities are already grappling with this public health emergency and desperately trying to roll out the vaccines. We now face a serious potential public health crisis along the border. The sheriffs also state in the resolution that in any other construct, infection rates that high would be cause for alarm by public health officials. Yet, we are currently engaging in policies that have potentially opened, rather than restricted, undocumented traffic into the U.S. Beyond the growing concerns about the safety and security of Americans, there's also the humanitarian crisis which cannot be ignored. Many of those crossing now are unaccompanied minors, with numbers rising to 9,457 in February. They're meant to be passed to the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, within 72 hours, but the sheer number of minors has overwhelmed the system. It has also been reported that at least 13,000 migrant children are being held in custody at federal facilities, one of which is reportedly 729% over capacity. HHS has just opened a second facility for the growing number of minors. A tent facility operated by the Border Patrol in Donna, some 500 miles south of Dallas, is holding more than 1,000 children and teenagers, with some as young as 4 years old. Lawyers who inspected immigrant detention facilities under a court settlement told the Associated Press they interviewed children who reported being held in packed tents, with some sleeping on the floor and others not being able to shower for 5 days. Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott issued a statement on March 15th asserting the Biden administration's reckless open-door policies have created a humanitarian crisis for unaccompanied minors coming across the border, and that his policies are risking the health and safety of Texans and putting children at risk from cartels and human traffickers.
We see very dangerous conditions that these migrants are forced to be in, whether it be lack of running water or the exposure and spread of COVID.
In recent days, the poor conditions of the federally run unaccompanied minor facilities in Texas have been exposed.
Basically, what we saw are dirty children who are malnourished, who are being severely neglected. They are being kept in inhumane conditions. They are essentially being warehoused, as many as 300 children in a cell, with almost no adult supervision. The children are hardly being fed anything nutritious, and they are being medically neglected. We're seeing a flu outbreak, and we're also seeing a lice infestation, It is, we have children sleeping on the floor. It's the worst conditions I've ever witnessed in several years of doing these inspections.
This has turned into a total catastrophe and is getting worse by the day because President Biden continues to invite in young children with the promise of them being able to stay here. These children make a very dangerous trek where they have to encounter cartels, drug dealers, gang members, MS-13 gang members, and there could be horrific things happening to them. We know the legacy of the human trafficking that happens to these children. It must be stopped.